Hello everyone, in this video we'll study strings in Python. So as you already know that string is a collection of characters. Okay, so when you declare a string like s is equal to Python, for example, okay, so this is a string, and of course you can use double quotation marks for the same. You can use triple quotation marks, or you can use 3 double quotes. All these 4 are strings. Okay, in fact all these 4 are ways of storing strings in variables. So if you check the data type with type function, data type of s, it says that it is a string. Fine. Now what happens inside the memory when you create a string? You have to understand this presentation here. So when you stored Python as a string in variable s, this s occupies 6 memory blocks in memory. As you can see, all 6 memory blocks belong to the variable s. So whenever you print s, for example print s, so it accesses all the memory blocks in once. Okay, as you can see, but actually each memory block is stored in different memory locations in the memory, as what you can see here. So the character P has a different memory block, character Y has different block, character T has different block, and same goes for all the characters. Fine. Now each block of memory has an index value associated. Okay, the index of every character starts from 0 and it goes on in the forward direction till the last character. Fine. So if the index of the first character is what you want to know, it is always 0, and the index of the last character is always n minus 1. So what is n? Total number of characters. So in this string total number of characters is 6, so the index of last character is 5. Also every string has positive indices as well as negative indices. Okay, so the positive indexing goes from left to right, from 0 to 5 in this case. Okay, and the negative indexing starts from the last character, remember, in every string. So in this case we have Python, the last character is n, so its negative index is -1. So whatever string you have, its last character will always have the negative index as -1. So it goes in the backward direction, the negative index. Okay, so the first negative index is -1, which belongs to this character. Second negative index is -2, this belongs to this character, and it goes on like this till -6, which belongs to this character. Okay, so this is how it organizes strings inside the memory. The advantage that we have with these index values is that you can access the individual blocks or the values stored in the individual memory blocks by writing a specific type of code. Okay, so every block here has a name, okay, which is of course s and with its index value, okay, accompanied with its index value. So when you say what is the name of this block where P is stored, you say it is S0, or you say it is S minus 6. Similarly, if you say what is the index of the last character N, you can say what is the name of the memory block of the last character N, you can say it is either S5 or S minus 1. So let's see it here in our example. So when you write S, square brackets is what you need to use if you are using individual blocks. Okay, so S square bracket 0. So what character should I be getting? P. Similarly, if you write S and then minus 6, so again you are getting P, which proves that this block where P is stored has the index 0, the positive index, and the index minus 6, which is the negative index. Okay. Similarly, when you want to access the last character N, you can either type S5 or you can type S minus 1. In both the cases, it gives you the character N. So this is how the indexing is organized for strings inside the memory. Now there is one interesting case where you want to create string values where you want quotation marks with the characters. Okay, so for example, if you want to store this is Tim's book. Okay, so I wanted to store this much text as a string value for this variable S, where I have this one apostrophe or the single quotation marks in it. So by the look of this, you can simply judge that it is not going to work because this much portion is green and rest is unidentified. Okay, why? Because when you open the single quote here and then when you apply this single quote here as an apostrophe symbol, then Python treats this single quotation mark as a closing for this quotation mark. Hence, the rest of the portion is simply ignored, or I should say it is not interpreted. So when you press enter key, obviously it shows error. Similarly, if you want to write something in double quotation marks in a string value, for example, this is double quotation marks great book. So the same problem is coming here, that is this double quotation mark is closed here. This is how it is treated, and this portion of the string is not correct according to the Python system. So when you press enter key, this also shows invalid syntax. So the question is, how can we store strings with these quotation marks? Okay, so there are two ways of doing it. The first way is to use the slash sign before the quotation mark, and it will be added as it is. How? Let me show you. S is equal to single quotes, this is Tim, and then I use this slash sign and then S after this apostrophe sign, right? So this is Tim's and the book, and then we close the string with this single quotation mark. So what happens here is, because of this slash, Python converts this single quotation mark as if it is a part of the string. Okay, so when you press enter key, it is accepted, and when you print it, as you can see, the single quotation mark is there in the string. Or rather, if you print it with print function. That will be more appropriate. So you can see it now. It shows this single quotes. Fine. The another easier way of doing the same is to use the single quotation mark inside the double quotation mark. So how can we do it? You open the double quotes to specify the values, and here you type this is Tim's book. It works fine, as you can see, or with print statement. So these are the two ways of doing this. Also, if you want to use double quotation mark, you can apply the same technique, that is use double quotes and write the string this is Tim, or let me change it, this is slash double quotes great slash double quotes country. Okay, so just before this double quotes I put a slash, and before this double quote I put a slash. So wherever in a string you want to have double quotes, you put a slash sign before it. And of course we have the normal quotation marks for opening and closing the string. So as you can see, it works. So these are the ways of doing this, and of course you can apply this same technique which I mentioned here with double quotes as well. Okay, how? You type s is equal to, you cannot enclose double quotes inside double quotes, so what you do is you keep single quotes, and this is where you write this is double quotation marks great country. It works. Okay, so the idea here is that, you know, students often find it difficult to remember sometimes that slash can be used to achieve the same thing. So it will be easier for you to remember it in a way that you can enclose double quotation inside single quotes, or you can enclose single quotes inside double quotes, but you cannot enclose single quote inside single quote or double quotes inside double quotes. So that way it will be easier for you to remember. So I hope this is clear to you. So there's one more thing with strings, that if you store a value, say for example s is equal to Raj, okay, and now if you print s with an asterisk sign and write any number after it, okay, so don't assume that it is multiplied by 10. Okay, so what it does is it repeats the string, or it replicates the string 10 times. So this is what it means. So whenever you have a numeric value appearing after the asterisk sign with a string before it, so that string will be repeated that number of times. Okay, so this is what it is. And of course if you want to have spaces here, what do? Use a bracket, use a plus sign to concatenate a space sign. So this will be evaluated first, and then whatever is the value after concatenation will be repeated 10 times. Sorry, something went wrong. Let me do it again. So what do you write? S plus space and then repeat it 10 times. So as you can see, it works fine now. So I hope this replication thing is clear to you. And of course you already know about string concatenation, so we don't need to discuss it again. whenever you use a plus sign before when you use plus sign between two strings, they will be concatenated. And remember, space is also a part of string. So this is what it is. So concatenation is already clear to you, I guess.